Welcome to the Protect Your Assets Market Briefing. I'm David Hollander, your host. Now let's get started. It was a strong week for hard assets and Bitcoin, rising Treasury yields, oil prices going back up again, and the U.S. fiscal concerns, outweighed the stock market. We saw the S&P off 1.4%, Dow off almost 1%, NASDAQ down about 2.1%, Russell off 1.6%, and the MSCI International EFI Index off about 0.5%. Big winner this week. Which one? None of them really, those ones. The Brent crude, the oil, and the gold. Those were the ones that did all right. All right, moving on. Let's go. So the crude oil price, $87 a barrel, up 5.7%. Brent crude, 94.39, up 6.4%. So oil had a pretty good week, and there's a lot of speculation going around right now about gold. Bitcoin was the big winner this week, up 22%. Huge. All right. What happened with the bond market this week? There's a lot of talk about bonds this week. Why? Well, it took center stage this week as the 30-year, we're talking about longer-term Treasury yields, the 30-year really went up quite a bit. And this was the first time we've seen these kind of numbers since 2007. Why? It was focusing on the inflation information was coming out, the federal deficit, and U.S. debt now exceeding $40 trillion. Yeah, big number. And according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he said that increasing long-term debt buybacks was the answer. So we'll see what happens with all this. And you got to keep your eye on that 10-year Treasury this next week. It is trading right around 473.7 right now. So I'm curious to see if it goes through 475. And again, if it gets back up to 5 once again, what that does is it puts pressure on stocks that borrow money. A lot of this AI boom has been funded by just that, by issuing debt. And so as you see that go higher, that's just going to drive yields higher and make things more expensive overall. What are we watching next week? Well, the biggest event next week, it's going to be NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to report earnings, and given NVIDIA's importance to the overall AI trade, which has been, again, a big part of the gain we've seen this year in the Russell 2000. And it will most likely, in my opinion, set the tone for technology and anything related to that this next week and moving forward. So this will be an interesting quarter. Like I've said, we're still in the third quarter. We got a couple of weeks to go, and we'll just see how it winds up.
You can hear the Protect Your Assets Market Briefing on your favorite podcast app. Just search for Protect Your Assets Market Briefing. Links to subscribe free wherever you listen are at libertygroupllc.com/PYA Market, libertygroupllc.com/PYA Briefing, libertygroupllc.com/PYA Market Brief. Investment advisory services are offered through Liberty Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. The strategies mentioned are not suitable for everyone. The information expressed does not consider your specific situation or objectives and may not be appropriate for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. To better understand the risk associated with investing and how it reacts to different market conditions, listeners should always consult with their qualified investment professionals, financial advisors, legal or tax specialists, and conduct their due diligence before making any financial decisions or taking any action. The legal information provided on the air is not intended to substitute for callers hiring their lawyers to advise them about personal legal matters. Investments involve risk and, unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Liberty Group LLC paid for the following program, and the host's views and opinions do not represent those of the station or its ownership. California Life Agent number 048569. Persons engaging the services of one affiliate of Liberty Group LLC companies should be aware that each company is operated separately. You're listening to the Protect Your Assets Radio Network.